Siyata Dishmaya, we're back at the limud of the Parashah. This week's Parashah, the Torah, will be discussing the Vayetze as Yaakov leaves his father, per his father's command, to go find himself a wife. As we know that a man is obligated to marry off his children. As we saw by last time we saw by Avraham Avinu, since Avraham Avinu was obligated to marry off Yitzchak, he took Eliezer and sent with him the dowry, the money, and the whole thing, whatever needs to be done in order to engage his son, right? However, here Yitzchak was prohibited to live in the land. He was prohibited, to go back to his grandfather's place. As it says, we learned last week, that Avraham Avinu said to Eliezer 2 weeks ago, says to Eliezer, you may go to my father, my father's house, but my son cannot go. So my son cannot go with him from there, but Yaakov, who is the grandson, is allowed to go there. Okay, so there's a play on words. So B'ezrat Hashem, today is the first day of the month of Kislev. This is the month where we're celebrating Hanukkah, where a big miracle happened. Many people think that the Jews were fighting Greeks. It's not true. They were not fighting Greeks. The Greeks' army, just think about it, the most they had all over the world, maybe the Greeks were maybe 40,000-50,000 soldiers. It's not like today you have 1 million soldiers. And let's say you have a million soldiers, right? America has about 1 million soldiers. They have bases in different countries. How many do you think they have in Israel today? Maybe 4,000 or 5,000 deployed? So that's the way it was. Greeks maybe had 4,000 or 5,000 deployed soldiers in the entire Israel, right? And they had obviously full control there because the sovereignty of Israel was taken over by the Greeks. But what happened was that we had 13 soldiers, the sons, basically most of them were brothers, which we know that was one of the big reasons why Solomon had so many wives, because he wanted to have so many boys, and all the boys should be brothers in the army, and that would make it a strong army. So the army of this Maccabees, we call them, right? They defeated over 1 million soldiers of the enemy. Who are these 1 million soldiers? Actual Jews. Jews who became Greeks, who started, who started to live like a Greek style. They took on themselves really a non-Jewish style lifestyle, and they appreciated it. You know, the stadium, the gladiators, all the juicy stuff. That not to be bored. By the way, so what happened was, so this is the month of Kislev, starting today. Actually, tonight is the first day of the month of Kislev, where a lot of miracles for the Jewish nation happened. And the biggest miracle was this, that you had Jews. Usually Jews are the ones who could cause problems to Jews. A non-Jew, technically speaking, cannot harm a Jew. Impossible. A non-Jew cannot hurt a Jew. Never happened, never will happen. That in our Torah, it's an improbability for a non-Jew to hurt a Jew. He have to be in the same family. Like we said, Nimrod. Why Nimrod was the first enemy of Avraham Avinu, so to speak, first enemy of the Jews, who threw Avraham Avinu into the fire. Who was Nimrod from, right? There was a connection. There was it has to be a relative connection in order to attack us.
So Hitler was part Jewish?
So, yeah, and not just Hitler. Obviously, Hitler. I don't know how many Jews Hitler himself killed. Most probably, he never dirtied his hands.
Stalin
he was to
kill more than Hitler.
But the question is, was the Stalin the killer?
Well, he had people killed.
Right. So they made laws, and the question is, who were the actors? The let's say communism. Communism was actually Trotsky. All those guys were Jewish. So those are the ones that are always gave up Jews. Our biggest problem was, like even in America, you see today, that unfortunately snitches. Yeah. Most people who harm Jews are the snitches. Who are the Jews? Unfortunately. Snitch, the Malshin.
Bernie Sanders.
Who is Malshin, the people who are always trying to harm us, but it says it clearly in the Torah. It says in the prophets that Hashem says the only people who will harm you are coming out of you, from your own flesh. That's the only way it's working. It's not possible for another relation to that has not relations to our heritage, because that will harm us. It's impossible. That's why the Chinese, who are totally not they're not even related. We have a lineage, right? They had 3 sons: Shem, Ham, and Yefet. From these 3 sons, the whole world spread, right? So who could hurt us? Only people who come from Shem. Only why Christians hurt us a lot, because Christians are our cousins, our brothers. Esav, and this is where last week we discussed Esav and Yaakov. All the Christians come from Esav, right? So they're all the ones. Muslims. Who are the Muslims coming from? They're coming from Ishmael, who is also from Avraham Avinu. So they're the ones. Chinese, you understand? No, Chinese are Ham. Chinese are 1000% Ham.
לא, יפה. אני אומר יפה.
No, you're wrong.
חם זה נהיה כושי.
חם. No, חם, you're wrong.
אני יכול לגלך.
Sin. Yeah. Go to the Chumash, you'll see. Sin is Ham. It says clearly. Ham had sin. Okay, anyway, forget about it. That's why Chinese, what did they say? I remember 30 years ago, it was published all the news. The Chinese guy, the Prime Minister said, I don't understand these people. I don't understand these people. Wait one second. I don't understand, he said. This Arabs trying to kill the Jews. What? Such a small number. Give us the order, we'll do it in a second. I promise you the Arabs went to the Chinese and tried to bribe them. But it's not working. It's not going to happen. It will never happen that Chinese will harm the Jew. It's impossible. They could only talk, but it will never happen. So we have to know that Nisim that happened in this month, and we always pray to Hashem that this is Rosh Chodesh Kislev. Today is the first day, and we have a full month of miracles. We want Hashem to perform for us miracles, because listen to what's going on today. We have everybody wants to harm us, from left to right, from all the corners, right? If it's in America, it's people who work for Obama or for Biden. There are a lot of Jews who work for Biden who are against the state of Israel, left and right. And again, it's not just the state of Israel. They're trying to incite here in America, inciting the Goyim. When you're inciting non-Jews here in America, let's say in those colleges, who are they harming? They were chasing Jews in the colleges. They were attacking Jews. One guy in Los Angeles pushed a Jew, and an older man, he died over there after he hit his head after the trauma. Again, you see that who is all doing all this? No. So Hashem should perform from us miracles, and let's with that start today's parasha. Today's parasha is Vayetze Yaakov Be'Beersheva, Vayelech Harana. Okay, Vayetze Yaakov Be'Beersheva. So Yaakov was commanded by his father to go find the bride. What happened was there was as we said, Yitzchak was not allowed to go back to Haran, and Yitzchak learned from his father we should not intermarry the inhabitants of the land of Canaan. Why? What happened was, as we said, that Canaan was the child of Ham, who was the one who made a big trouble for Noah, because Noah wanted to have more children. And Ham did not. Ham's grandson Canaan, he was smarter, obviously, because he said, "Listen, if Adam, the first man, had 2 children and they killed each other, hold on a second, it doesn't matter." And so he said, if Ham had 2 children and they fought, who's going to be inheriting the world, right? So Cain and Hevel. So Cain killed Hevel. So Canaan, who was the son of Ham, was a grandson of Noah. When he discovered Noah was undressed, he went ahead and he made a puncture to his vein. He punctured his vein in a private spot, so you couldn't bring any more children. That's what Canaan did. Why? Because he said, "Look, we have 3 people who are going to inherit this world. So why bring more? And there's going to be a lot of fights. Who needs that?" So that was the intention of Canaan. That's why Noah actually curses him. That he says, "You who wanted to what? Who didn't want me to have children anymore, to have a 4th child, you should be which will be the 4th child of Noah," right? Again, if you have Shem, Ham, and Yefet, right? So Shem, Yefet, and Ham. So who will be the 4th child in this lineage? The firstborn of the first 3. So who was the firstborn? Canaan was the firstborn of Ham. So he was the 4th child. And so, as we know, the grandchildren are like your children in the lineage. Like the first three, his children, the fourth one is Canaan. So Noah actually curses him to be a slave to the other, what's his name? To the other, to Shem and to Ham, the other two children. And Canaan, as Markel is pointing out many times, is that who are these people? Those are the people that were very much involved in idol worship, and they're the ones who restarted the idol worship. Okay,
Canaan.
That's Canaan. And what happened was the earth was divided into three sections. Literally, that the sons of Shem will take the third part, the sons of Yafet and the sons of Ham. Which portion was the land of Israel? Was in the portion of Shem, because Noah said Shem is the one who was the initiator of protecting his honor of his father, of Noah. So he gave him a blessing. Which land did he give him? He gave him the land of Israel. What's so special about the land of Israel? Everybody's fighting. Nobody understands even. Nobody even understands why everybody's fighting for the land of Israel. And I'll tell you right now. What happened was, we know that there was a flood. Hashem, God, cleared out this world with flood, right? He cleaned it out by relieving the land of this creatures that were trying to, right? Not just the feeling, creatures that were whole day busy figuring out how to hurt another person. That's what they were figuring out. They had prosperity. In the time of Noah, they had prosperity. Remember that. There was no spoilage. Fruit would be hanging on the tree for 1,600 years and it would not fall and not spoil. If you didn't take it off, if an animal didn't buy that fruit, it would not spoil. There was so much prosperity. They had prosperity for billion years from one rain. So they could survive trillions. There were over 10 trillion people in the world, on this world. Over tens of trillions of people. But what were they doing all this time? There was so much prosperity they couldn't handle it. They were becoming crazy. That they were looking for ways to harm another person without coming. That you can't even come to claim that I harmed you. So they were coming with crazy ideas. So God says we can't have this kind of people. That's how I created the world. I created this world. I gave prosperity to this world, and it was before the flood. There was so much prosperity. There was like. They had zero, no wars, by the way. Imagine yourself, 1,600 years, no wars. Birth was like chickens. They gave birth. They went to sleep with the wife, they would wake up, the baby was next to them already alive. There was no, what's his name? There was no problems at all. But what was the problem? The problem was they didn't just appreciate it. They were looking for ways to harm another person without being guilty in the eyes of the court. That was what they were doing. Like today, in America, what are the lawyers for? Lawyer is another word for a liar. He's figuring out a way to say the words in front of the court to make you innocent, even though you are guilty. But that's exactly what they were doing, and that's why God sent the flood. Because that's not why I didn't create you to find ways to harm another person without being guilty. That's not the point of life. The point of life is you're here to help the other person. That's all. You're not here to use the other people. You're here to help them. So it was so why everybody's fighting for Israel is because it was so holy that the flood was not a drop that was in there. The land of Israel, it was encapsulated. There was a glass put over it, so all the rainwaters, not even one drop of rain went into Israel from the flood. So the Noah and his children, they saw it. They saw the whole land, right? Not like today, the people think it's a sphere, and no. The flood. We are actually concentrated. America is here, Australia is here. Don't believe all this nonsense. And the sun is here circling this whole big west earth, right? It's not דעה אחת. It's not דעה אחת. So Noah, they could actually see that there was glass protecting the land of Israel. Where did they land? They landed in Armenia. Ararat, the mountains of Ararat, where the Teva landed, you could actually see from there that there is no water in Israel. Wow. And so what happened? Ham heard about this, he realized it. He said, we want to conquer. So as we said, the world was split into three sections. Shem got the land of Israel. because he was holy. Because as we see that when they found out that Noah did not he was uncovered, he was naked. Shem was the first one who covered him. He was the one initiating it. So therefore, Ham said, if you're a holy person like that, because it's not good to be undressed. So if you're holy, I'm going to give you the holiest land, Israel. That's why the whole world is fighting today, and not today, for the past thousands of years. They're all trying to conquer this land. They don't even understand why. You know why? It was so holy that it draws its people to itself. So what happened then? What happened was Ham waged war. He had the seven offspring of him, the Canaanites, from the Canaan, right? That's the grandchildren of Ham, one of the three sons of Noah. They came and they conquered the world. They waged war against the family of Shem, and they took the land away from them. So that's why God is telling Abraham, I'm going to give you this land because by birthright it's yours. By birthright it belongs to the offsprings of Shem. We are the offspring of Shem. So God says, this really belongs to you. These Canaanites, they came, these barbarians, and because they were afraid, because they were the ones who started all the idol worship, they brought the disaster to this world again, after the big flood. So they were saying, you know where we're going to live? We're going to live where there's no flood. Because they were always afraid that God is going to renege on his word. God says, I'm not going to destroy the world anymore. But they said, hey, we don't trust. You know, they wanted to make up excuses. So they said, you know what, we're going to live in Eretz Israel. In the land of Israel, they occupied it, called it Canaan. So Hashem says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring back the Abraham Avinu and his children there. And that's what, by the Exodus, that's what happened. We came in 15 million Jews and we took over the land. That was not because just like this, out of nowhere. That land really belongs to the offspring of Shem, which that's us. So God decided to give us, there was a choice between the Christians, the European Esav is a Christian, European Jews, Christians. There was a choice. Or they get it, or we get it. What was the condition? The condition was when Abraham Avinu made a boo-boo. Abraham Avinu, our father, we see that the difference between our Torah and the other Bibles. Our Bible says to us, the great giant like Abraham made a mistake. And because he made a mistake, we were punished. In Christian world, if you say Jesus made a mistake, they'll kill you. They'll kill you. I had a discussion. They're crazy people. What do you mean you can't make a mistake? No, the prophet can make a mistake. Abraham Avinu made a mistake. What was his mistake? He said to Hashem, how would I know the land will belong to my children? Because he asked this question, the condition was we were to be punished 400 years in slavery. So came Esav and came Yaakov. Yaakov decided, I'll take the 400 years punishment. And we went to Egypt for 400 years punishment, and Esav said, I don't want it. So because of that, now the land belongs to us. The condition was, who wants to own the land? I know the Arabs right now are trying to claim it's ours because of whatever, but you had to actually go through the exile, the punishment. Abraham Avinu earned the punishment. But again, if they're coming in and they say, if you say Muhammad made a mistake, they'll kill you also. That's impossible. But according to Torah, we actually point out that King David made a mistake, Shlomo HaMelech made a mistake, Abraham Avinu and Yitzchak Avinu made a mistake, and Yaakov Avinu made a mistake. Our Torah actually tells us we are to learn from the mistakes. If you're always going to cover up your mistakes, what kind of learning are you? You're a fakers. If you're always going to be covering up the problems, so what's the point? The point is, Maaseh Avot, Siman Lebanim. We must emulate our forefathers, what they did. That's going to make us a better human being. Because what is the difference between a wise man and a smart man? Come on, James. No, what's the difference between a smart man and a wise man? מה ההבדל בין חכם ונבון? Yeah, Gal. What's the difference between a smart man and a wise man? Tzadik. No? No? מה ההבדל בין חכם ונבון? Come on, guys, let's go. Think quickly. No, listen, gentlemen. Very simple. Well, I'll tell you. Listen to me. Chacham, a smart man, he learns from his mistakes.
Yes. The wise man learns from other people's mistakes.
The wise man learns from the smart man's mistakes. Yes. That's the wise man. Okay? So we're here to learn from our father's mistakes, not to repeat it. But the Goyim, they're totally opposite. They will cover up their mistakes. No mistakes. So how are you going to become a better person? Yeah? I had a conversation with a missionary. He came to my house one time 45-minute discussion. Then I told him, you're actually better than Jesus. I said to him, I'm better than Moses. You know that? He looks at me. He almost fainted. If I told him that he's better than Jesus, I told him I'm better than Moses. He almost fainted. I said, how is it better? Very simple. Moses, will get up right now. He will give up everything just to make a blessing on the water. We have an opportunity to do bad things or good things. The people who are dead, they ain't got it anymore. So that's why we're better than them. We could do something. We have a chance to even get greater than them. Moshe and whoever died, that's it. They're froze. So whatever they achieve, they cannot achieve anymore. We all, every second we're alive, we could achieve more and more and more. הבנתי? אוקיי, זהו, אתה רוצה לסגור אותי?
למה לסגור אותי? בוא תעבור לפה, צ'פ שמה.
אוקיי.
למה לסגור? תורה לא לסגור. למה לסגור תורה? צ'פ שמה.
Okay. So back, we'll continue over here. Baruch Hashem, B'siyata Deshmaya. They moved us. I love it. Okay, so we're saying that as long as we're alive, we could accomplish things. Once we're dead, finished. There's no elevation, right? So what happens after we die? Very simple. If we have enough merits, it's good. We will get to the right place. But if we don't, so what do? People leave legacy. What they do, they either let's say build a synagogue, or they build something where there will be usage, constant usage, and they will elevate their, or like they give charity. That's one of the most important reasons to give charity. Okay, so let's see. Right now we're holding by Parashat Vayetzeh, where Yaakov Avinu was commanded by his father to travel to the lineage of his grandfather, like Avraham Avinu was Avraham Avinu in Haran, and there he should take a wife for himself. So the Torah tells us, Vayetzi Yaakov Beershava, Vayelech Haran. Yaakov left Beershava, where his father lived, from Eretz Yisrael, and he went to Haran. That's where his father was born, and that's where actually his grandfather was born there. So his grandfather's brother had a daughter there for him. And how do we know that? Also here, same concept. That Avraham Avinu, when he sent Yitzchak's Eliezer, his servant, to go get a wife for Yitzchak, what happened was that she reached the age of 3. She was just born. At the age of 3, so we have a special thing. Why it had to be by 3 years old? Because we have a rule that if, God forbid, a girl was raped and she was under 3, the virginity goes back to her. That's the standard. That's actually why many governments don't understand what's going on. If you take a look at the history, the Greeks, when they attacked us, that one thing they wanted to what? What? No, what's happening? No, there is no steak. There's too many people. There's no steak here. Not now. It's not gonna happen. Tell your mommy I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen.
Be ready in like 2 hours.
Yeah, and it's not gonna happen. There's too many people gonna come. There's very little. I saw that. There's not enough. That's it. Leave it.
Mommy wants.
I understand what she wants. I'm coming home soon also. I'm not staying. There's not enough room upstairs also. There's too many people coming. Leave it. Okay, I'm coming home soon. Anyway, so, okay. Interruptions, thank God. Thank God for these interruptions, right? So Yaakov is travel. Okay, so we said that Rivka, why she be taken from 3 years old? Because the problem is that's why many, like Greek theology, they were very much upset with us when they conquered Israel. Greeks 2,300 years ago, their first rule, one of the decrees was you cannot celebrate the month. Again, if we were considered to be the most craziest people, right? Let's say you go to an outhouse. You go to an outhouse, and the guy tells you, "I'm Napoleon." You say to him, "Nice to meet you. My name is James. My name is Avram. Have a good day." You're not affected by it, right? He's crazy. So the Greeks said Jews are very crazy. They're crazy. They have a religion. They're decreeing. They're decreeing that today is a new month. And they said, "Oh, by the way, they cannot decree new months anymore. What bothers you? I'm a Jew. I have not related to you. You have a December. I have right now Kislev. You started in December. I'm starting in Kislev. What you care of what month do I call it?" No, the Greeks came and said you can't call it. Okay, if I'm crazy, So I'm crazy. How much you affected? Same way, if you go to another house and there's somebody claims there's Napoleon, you're not affected. Why should you be affected? Why? No. Greeks were surprised with something. They never saw such a thing in their life. What were they surprised with? They said, this Jew, something is crazy about this Jew. They're not cases, they're crazy. But something is happening. What? What happened was like this. There was girls who were raped. They were raped before they turned 3. Okay? They were raped. Now, right? What happened was they were raped. Sorry. A girl was born in the Jewish calendar. Now we have the Jewish calendar, we have 12 months. Our Jewish calendar standard is 12 months. So let's say she was born, for argument's sake, we're in the year 5785. So last year was 5784. We had 13 months. We did not have 12 months. So what happened was 5784. We decided to make it into 13 months. But prior to that, right, a girl was born on the 12th month, 30th day. In 12 month, 29th day, let's say, right? She was born 30th day in 12 month, which would be which year? 5781, right? So 5784 on the 29th day, she would become what? 3 years old. Very good. So what happens? So she would become. She was born on the 20th day of the month of 5781, 12 month, 20th day of the month, right? So now she's turning 3 at 5785 on the 20th of the 12th month.
No. You said it's 13 months that year, right?
No, one second. Oh, no. Before it became 13. Let's say if it was not 13 months.
Yes.
So she would be 3 years old, 5781 to 5784. It's 3 years.
Right.
On the 20th, on the 12th month of the 20th day of the month. Right? In 12 months. Now, on the 21st, God forbid, she was attacked by somebody, captured her family, killed her whole family, and she was raped. Okay? So now, she is, let's say, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years later, they freed her, and now she's back in the Jewish community. They want to marry her off. What would be the rule is? The rule is she gets married as a raped girl. The difference between not raped girl and the raped girl, obviously, in the price, meaning that the dowry and the whole thing. Very nice. What happened was that year, 5784, the rabbis decided it's not 12-month year, it's actually 13-month year. So why is that important? Like you said, if she was born 5781 on the 20th of the 12th month. The 12th month is no longer a year, complete year. So she would turn when she was going to turn 3 years old? The 13th month, but she was raped in the 12th month. So what happens? Automatically, when she turns 20, you could check her, she becomes virgin again. Even though she was raped, she would become virgin. Every girl that's raped before the age of 3, the Torah tells us, it's automatically at the 3 years old, something happens, her virginity grows back. Automatically, every girl in the world. So the Greeks said, these crazy Jews, all they have to do is just declare a month, they add another 30 days in the year, and the nature changes. So one of the first things the Greeks did, they said, you can't celebrate months. We can't have that. We can't explain it. And till today they can't explain it. Till today, nobody can explain how is it possible that if a girl was raped and the Jews decided to add another month to that year, even though she was raped already officially after the 3rd year, added 30 days to her initial birthday. So now they're celebrating the 3rd birthday, the real birthday that usually happens. We consider the 13th month where the year completes. So now, the Greeks couldn't tolerate it. Even though we're the craziest people. You're right. Whatever that is, however it is, that is one of the proofs, by the way, even today. That is one of the proofs that what's his name? That the Torah is, there's no playing games with it. There's no, you want to call us crazy, whatever you want. We're not bothering you. What do you care what month do I declare? No, we can't explain it, therefore something is wrong. Some kind of magic. How can I do magic? A girl is born 20,000 miles away from me. and she was raped. All of a sudden, the rabbis decreed, now this girl is back to normal. And it's not only Jews, everybody. Every girl in the world that happened like this situation, added 30 days, boom, flips. It's out of this world, out of this world. So what happened was, since we know that Yitzchak Avinu, the Eliezer, was sent to go get a wife for Yitzchak, Isaac, in that age, that means Rivka was 3 years old, right? So now we could see that Yaakov Avinu was also sent at what age? Who was born 3 years earlier? Rachel and Leah. Rachel and Leah. But what age did they get married? 17. Tomorrow we'll discuss why when Yitzchak, Yaakov was actually 84, and Rachel and Leah they were actually not 17, 24. At 17 he met them. He was supposed to meet them at 3, but he met them at 17. And Leah and Rachel were also twins, so they were both born. Rachel was supposed to be for Yaakov, she was the younger one, and Leah was supposed to be for Esav, and because she's the older one. But in the end, Yaakov is going to get, we'll learn later on, he marries both of them, but in reality, he met them at 17, and that's why actually Yaakov Avinu cries when he meets Rachel. Okay, because of his delay, because really he was supposed to be there when she was 3, right? But God still protected her not to be touched. So for the next 14 years, she was protected not to be de-virginized by anybody else. Same thing over here. But then he married her only after 7 years of service to Lavan. So she was 24, and he was actually 84. He met her at 77. They got married at 84 by him. Hers was 24 years old. And B'ezrat Hashem, tomorrow we'll discuss more into detail. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
James is